What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here today to fill out the practice squad. So, made a video yesterday about that. Gonna go ahead and swap over here. So this is Dolphins Talk, dolphinstalk.com. They also do a YouTube show or whatever. But this is just who I decided to. There's obviously multiple places that are reporting on this, but I liked the little compilation here of, tweets and stuff. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it because the Dolphins did fill out their practice squad a bit more today. They may even have one spot remaining. As you know, the Dolphins are able to have 17 players on the practice squad, one additional to the 16 as per the COVID rules, because of the fact that they have Durval Quiros-Neto on the roster, who is an exemption because of his status as a foreign player coming over in the transfer program. Excuse me. So let's get on with it. I am going to do a count though, so I'm going to count as we go. So as of today, they have added Keon Smith, Brandon Powell to the practice squad. I think Keon Smith, or let's see, I might get this mixed up, but one of them is a cornerback and one of them is a receiver, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, adding to that, they did get Jason Strowbridge onto the practice squad, so they prevented themselves from losing another draft pick. So they ended up cutting 3 draft picks: Jared Dokes, Jason Strowbridge, and Malcolm Perry. They only ended up losing one of them, so that's good for now. Although, Strowbridge and Dokes are obviously, very edge of the roster guys at this point. But they are late round draft picks, so not totally unexpected there. But anyway, so let's see. We're at, Strowbridge is 1, Tino Ellis, Brandon Powell, Keon Smith, and Cameron Tom made it back onto the practice squad. So that's 5 guys right there. Then we move down. We got St. Thomas Aquinas running back Jordan Scarlett at 6. Shaquem Griffin, 7. Durval Quiros-Neto is 8. But he's obviously the one that allows us to go to 17. Jabal Sheard is 9. Patrick Laird, 10. Calvin Munson, 11. Jared Dokes, 12. Jamal Perry was released, but I'm pretty sure he's actually been brought back onto the practice squad. I'm pretty sure. So, shit, where were we? Damn it, I lost my count. Good job, Dillon. That's what happens. Let's do a quick recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 with Scarlett. 7 with Griffin. 8 with Quiros-Neto. 9 with Jabal Sheard. 10 with Patrick Laird. 11 with Munson. 12 with Dokes. I'm going to say 13 with Perry. 14 with Kirk Merritt. Was glad to see him get there. Let's see. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 with Merritt, 15 with Sinnott, 16 with Javaris Davis. So it looks like they have one more than that they can sign to this practice squad. Oh, no, wait. And Adam Pankey. Was Adam Pankey too? So if Pankey was signed as well, then that would put us at 17. If not, then we are only at 16. But I think, so yeah, okay. So real quick, let's run through this because I'm pretty sure it ended up being Pankey, Javaris Davis, Jared Dokes, that's 3, Reed Sinnott 4, Kirk Merritt 5. I think Jamal Perry did come back to the practice squad 6. We already said Dokes. Munson 7, Laird 8, Sheard 9, Neto 10, Griffin 11, Scarlett 12, Tom 13, Smith 14, Powell 15, Ellis 16, Strowbridge 17. So if that's the case, and I'm sure we'll get more verification on this later, but it does look, though, as that is the Miami Dolphins practice squad. Now, I still think that, some of their moves that they made are, were questionable when it came to the cut downs for the 53. However, it is somewhat negated, at least for the time being, by the fact that, a couple of those guys that were hard to lose were Kirk Merritt and Reed Sinnett, for example. Sinnett obviously was the third quarterback, and he was expected to go to the practice squad anyway, so really not a surprise the whole way around. But he did play really well for us and could be, our future backup or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Because Jacoby Brissett's probably not going to be here for the long term, so he's a good, if he can continue, and then, he played really well, so God forbid, if Tua has to come out for whatever reason, or even if he goes in garbage time, right, then he has a chance to take care of business. And, in those garbage time moments, he could even, he could be the quarterback that comes in to fucking hold it down like the Bills did against us, right, in the last game of the season. It wasn't just the first team players that put up 28 points. The backups did too, right? So, Reed Sinnett could be, a good backup quarterback on that kind of level that could do that to teams, late in a game or whatever. But it was offset and negated a little bit because those guys made it back. It was good that, Strobridge and Dokes, they made it back to the practice squad because, look, as it is right now, from the Dolphins over the past 3 drafts, right? The Dolphins have what? How many is it? It's 18, 24 draft picks over the past 3 draft classes. They've already cut 4 and lost 4, no longer on the team. So, and if Strobridge and Dokes didn't make it to the practice squad, or later on if they do get poached or cut and then, are no longer Dolphins, that would be up to 6 players from their first 3 drafts. And that's just not a good thing, right? Especially then when you have, first round picks and other of these picks that are struggling to earn their draft status and stuff like that, right? So like Austin Jackson, Noah Igbenogany, Christian Wilkins needs to do more, right? We've gone over this. So, it's not a good look for the draft classes and their drafting ability, or their talent evaluation or their player development, right? So, I'm glad that those guys did make it to the practice squad. Hopefully they, remain with the Dolphins, and hopefully they can get more out of these guys, because I would hate to see those draft classes get worse and worse and worse, right? They need to get better because right now they're not looking so good. So anyway, like I said, though, it's good that those things did happen. I was glad to see that those things happen. I was super glad that we didn't lose Kirk Merritt. But hey, look, it was apparently there was a situation that, a bunch of young talented receivers got chopped from the, on the block yesterday after cut downs. So there was a bit of a pool. So looks like the Dolphins kind of lucked out in that way. And they did get to keep Captain Kirk because he was definitely balling out. So, and like Shaquem Griffin, I was glad that he ended up back on the. Tino Ellis is solid, right? I like the Cameron Tom one because, not that he's particularly great, but we have like the depth. Look, I still have my questions about the starting offensive line, but the depth is pretty atrocious after that. Jordan Scarlett is a good one. So yeah, and then obviously keeping Nito makes sense. Jabal Sheard was the sneaky good one for me, although we'll see if that, turns into anything. We'll see if we get any return from that one. But I do think that one's actually a sneaky good one because he is getting older and stuff at this point, but he has been a solid pass rusher in this league, and we definitely do need help in that department. So anyway, as it turns out, it's not it's not the worst thing in the world because they didn't lose some of those prominent players and stuff. I'm still, my biggest concerns for this Dolphins team and this Dolphins roster remain the same three things. Offensive line, depth on the roster, and the injury COVID situation, right? Because, again, we've had way too many injuries and, people having to go on the COVID list at this point in the season for my liking. We haven't even played an actual game yet, and it's been way, way, way too much. And look, our entire receiver core is full of just injury-prone guys. So I have my concerns. Those are my top three concerns, and the three things that I am worried about derailing the season, right? Because this team does, look, at the end of the day, I never agreed with the tanking approach. I've disagreed vehemently with, many, many decisions that they've made over the past 3 years. I don't like a lot of them. I think a lot of it is stupid and foolish. I think they've been terrible with their, prioritizing, their drafting, their player evaluation and development, etc., etc. I don't like a lot of the toxic things that go on behind the scenes. I thought that they, excuse me, I thought that they overachieved in both year one and year two. In year one, not because of the coaching staff, but because of Ryan Fitzpatrick and his leadership, as well as the fact that it was a team of nothing but like waiver wire guys and undrafted free agents that were literally playing for their careers on a team that was literally trying to tank. And then last year, because of, as I've mentioned, because of the surrounding context of the season and the fact that we went from one of the hardest strength of schedules at the beginning of the year to one of the weakest because of the fact that particularly in the back 2/3 of the season, we got a bunch of teams that were either, genuinely bad or super decimated by injuries and COVID and stuff. So, I thought we overachieved the past couple years. I didn't think we were a 10-win team last season. And, my record prediction as of right now is only 9 wins. However, having said all of that, because you guys know that that's how I feel and those are my evaluations, it's not an emotional feeling. When I say, to be clear, when I say I feel, it's not about emotions. It's about my evaluation of all of the data and stuff that is available to me. Having said all that, I have also consistently said that this team has a ton of boom potential. A ton. It's also got a lot of bust potential, and that scares the shit out of me. But it's got a ton of boom potential as well. And so I'm hoping that that is what we see. And my top three concerns of, the offensive line, the depth on this roster, and the injury, knock on wood, the injury COVID situation, I hope those things do not derail the season. Because if they do, then unfortunately, I have a feeling that, if we do not meet expectations, and I've been consistent about this, if we do not meet expectations, which is 10 plus wins, compete within the division, and make it to the playoffs, if that doesn't happen, and, if the offensive line doesn't hold firm, and if our depth gets tested and it proves to be weak, right? If these things, and if some of these former first rounders still aren't proving their fucking mettle, right, and earning that spot, that high position that they were picked at, right, then we could yet again as Dolphin fans be in a situation where after this season we are watching the organization once again hit the reset button and have, people within the organizational structure get fired, and we bring in new people, then we have to, create a new culture, blah, 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 blah. So I want to see the boom. I don't want to see the bust. We will see soon enough. The season is literally 10 days away. We begin against the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium in 10 days. So we're very close. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see you all soon. Fins up.